Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's blessed. Uh, just hope, just hope y'all are all doing well, man. It's a beautiful day today, beautiful morning. Um, say the same thing that I always say, just more blessed than I deserve. Um, Out here at the park, doing my walk, uh, relaxing, enjoying. I mean, it's beautiful out here. The weather's perfect. Um, Man, it's just wonderful. It's great. Um, it's August 10th, 2019, and I'm feeling extremely blessed today. Extremely thankful. And, when I think about it, when I woke up this morning, I woke up, lay there in bed for a little bit, relax, thinking about what I'm going to do for the day, knowing I'm going to come out here, enjoy some fresh air, go do laundry here in a little while, go run some errands, go find some place to eat, just probably see some friends, relax, enjoy the day. Um, but the thing about it is 1 year ago today, uh, 1 year ago today when I woke up, uh, I woke up to the clanging on the door, guard yelling, "Hey, chow's ready, get up, get your chow," 5:30 in the morning. Um, get up, trudge over to the door, grab your tray, go sit down, eat real quick, slide your tray back to the door, climb back in your bunk and go back to bed. 1 year ago today, that's where I was at. Uh, later on that same day, that afternoon, uh, walked out of jail, walked out of prison for the first time in over 6 years. Um, what a difference a year makes, right? It's unbelievable. It's still hard to believe. It's still hard to understand. Um, Still have moments and still have days that I still think to myself, is this real? That day a year ago when I walked out, obviously I still remember it. I don't think that's a day that I'll ever forget. But the crazy thing is when I walked out, when I went to the property room to get released, or booking to get released, I walked in. Of course, I got my Bible, a little bit of paperwork, and the jail clothes that they'd given me. And so as they're checking everything, and they look and realize I don't have any property, and they're like, "Well, do you have any clothes to wear?" Told them no. I mean, obviously I've been locked up for this long. I don't have any property here. And they were telling me, they're like, "Well, we can't let you leave in the county issued clothes." And I remember telling them, I just laughed. I was like, "Take them. I'll walk out of here naked. I don't care." Of course, they told me I couldn't do that, but I trust me, I would have. But nah. So at that moment, it's just, hey, I'm being released and I'm getting out. But man, I have nothing. I don't even have clothes to wear. Nothing. So they were gracious, and they went to the property room, and I guess in the lost and found, and they come up with a pair of pants and a white t-shirt. Those of you that saw the video of me being released, those were from the lost and found box at the jail. And of course those bright orange prison slides. So yeah, that's what I walked out of that place in. Um, which, thinking about it now, it's kind of fitting, because everything I was wearing that day when I walked out was from the Lost and Found, and that's exactly how I felt that day, was lost and found. Um, I felt like I'd been lost for so many years, and not just the time that I was locked up, but even the 2, maybe even 3 years prior to that, I was lost. Just completely, I was lost. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Um, so that day, walking out of jail, walking out of that jail, then yeah, I had a sense of being found, and that it was just so surreal. Just, I don't know, it's crazy. Um, my experiences on that day, I'm going to share with you right now. Um, I think in that video, those of you that saw the live feed when I was being released, at one point, mom had the camera on me and asked if I wanted to say anything, and I just told her no. And I apologize for that, but I was just so in shock and so overwhelmed that I didn't know what to say. And if I would have said anything, it would have been something stupid. So it was best just to keep my mouth shut. Um, but no, I was just so overwhelmed and just in shock that I wouldn't have been able to say anything. Um, Trust me, just the traffic, just the cars in front of the house, I kept having to go back inside the house to get away from it, because it was too much for me. If you haven't been around that stuff for a while, it's a lot to take in. Just the whole just the whole situation. But anyway, so when I was being released, when I was actually walking out of the jail, it still had that sense that, okay, this is happening, but at the same time it's like, okay, I don't know that this is real, because instead of being released out of the front, I was still being released through the back, through the sally port, and I was still being escorted by a peace officer. Um, the only difference is that when I was walking out, I wasn't handcuffed and shackled, so that was a big difference. But still, being escorted, being placed in the back seat of a car, it was still kind of okay, is this really happening? What's going on? So anyway, we get in the car, and of course we got to go to the courthouse first and stop off, because got to sign paperwork and go over all of that stuff. And so driving to the courthouse, that's nothing new. Doing that back and forth to court and all that, so that was different. But when we get to the courthouse, then instead of going up to the courtrooms, we went down to one of the offices, and of course we go in there, and we're sitting there talking, filling out the paperwork, doing everything. They're explaining everything to me. And at one point, he tells me that I have to take a UA, and of course I'm like, yeah, sure. And so he asked me if I need some water or something to drink. And I was like, yeah, that'll help. And so he tells me, well, the water fountain is just out the door and down the hall right around the corner. I'm like, okay. And I just sit there because I'm waiting for him to go with me. And he's still writing, and he looks up and he's like, did you need something to drink? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh. It's like, well, you can go. He's like, you don't have to wait for me. And it was just, I was so used to not being able to go anywhere or do anything without being escorted or somebody right there. You're just not used to that stuff. So it was an awkward moment, but it was funny at the same time. So I'll go and get some water and everything, and when I walked out of the door, there was a deputy right outside the door, at her station, and I knew her from when she was a jailer. Um, but when I walked out, then I stopped. I froze because I felt like I was doing something wrong, and somewhere where I wasn't supposed to be. And she just looked and she's like, "Oh," she's like, "Hey, Stoneman," she said, made a little joke about the prison shoes that I was wearing, and I laughed and we chatted for a second, and that kind of broke the tension. And I told her, I was like, "Well, I'm just going to get a drink." She said, "Oh yeah, the water fountain's over there," and pointed. And so I took off to go get some water, and at that moment, that's when it first kind of hit me. Hey, I actually do have some freedom, and something simple as just going to a water fountain and getting a drink. It's crazy. It was wild. But anyway, so I get that all taken care of, get all the paperwork and everything taken care of, leave the courthouse, and we're driving to the house where I'm going to be staying. Man, just driving through town, seeing all the different stuff. And of course, he's talking to me, and I'm asking him about all the different stuff that's changed, and he's explaining some of it and describing some of it to me, and it was awesome. It was just, like I said, I was overwhelmed. You look at everything in general and not really much has changed, but when you haven't seen it for so long, then you see everything that's changed, and it's just like, wow. And it just kind of puts it into perspective of how long you've been gone. I don't know, it's crazy. But anyway, so we pull up, get to where I'm staying, pull up to the house, and of course my mom, my brother, my niece, my nephews, they're all out there, and that's the second moment where it hit, and it was just like, man, this is real. This is really happening. I mean, there's a house, there's my family, this is where I'm going to be staying. Yeah, it was crazy. It was that was just one of those moments where it was just like, wow, like I said, this is really happening. This is real. And I don't know, just getting to see my family right there and give them a hug and just being there. No glass separating us, no phones, no guards surrounding us. It was pretty awesome. Can't really describe it. It was just awesome. So that, like I said, that's, of course, they had the live feed going, and yeah, like I said, I was just overwhelmed. There's no way I was going to be able to say anything. But now I can. So that was kind of my experience of getting out. 1 year, like I said, 1 year ago today. That's what took place. The only reason I'm where I'm at right now is because of all of you, all of my friends, all of my loved ones, all my family. I mean, we're talking about people. Some of these people I hadn't seen since elementary school, middle school, junior high school. I mean, people I haven't seen some of y'all in years. Some of y'all I've still never seen, but we've been in a little bit of contact or whatever. But just the prayer and the support and just the love, and just that's why I'm where I am today. Not just getting out of prison, but stepping up, and a good friend offered up a house for me to stay in. I had multiple friends coming by, picking me up and taking me out to eat, just making sure I was eating. Of course, my family was there and had some of my clothes, and had some of my actual clothes that I could put on and that I could wear. People coming by and getting groceries for me, um, going and getting a bike for me so I'd have some kind of transportation around town so I'm not walking. Uh, then eventually getting a Jeep, getting a friend let me borrow a vehicle so I could drive around. Um, just making sure, you know, I had clothes to wear, shoes on my feet, food in my stomach. Um, you know, this is all y'all. This is all y'all's doing, um, and I'm so grateful for it. Um, and I just look back over this past year, and I mean, just I'm amazed how blessed I am. Y'all hear me say it all the time that I'm more blessed than I deserve, and I truly am. I mean, I truly am. There's no arguing that, and it's because of, obviously it's because of God, but it's because God placed all of you in my life, and He's given y'all a heart to help and to support, and I thank you all, and I love you all, and I just pray that y'all are blessed and that God shows you His favor. Um, but you know, through friends and through contacts, you know, I look at where I'm at now. A year ago, I was walking out of that prison, lost and found, basically, uh, with nothing. Um, Here it is a year later, and again through friends offering up a place to stay, and eventually that turning into my own place. Um, Friends helping me out and supporting me to get a vehicle. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. Thank you again for that. Uh, you know, I was put into contact with some great people, um, which blessed me with a great job, a great opportunity, um, and I've been progressing and succeeding at work. I'm I feel like I'm back on my feet. Um, I feel like I have a life again. Um, I've got old friends in my life. I've got new friends in my life. I'm surrounded by love. I'm back with my church family. Serving in church again. Um, blessed by being there and being surrounded by them. Blessed being able to serve God. Some family that I haven't been in contact with for years is coming back into my life. That's answered prayer right there. Um, it's awesome. It's amazing, and I'm blessed to be where I'm at. Um, but aside from all of that, um, I do want to give everyone kind of an update, just kind of a feel for where I'm at, uh, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Um, you know, over this past year, the main thing that I've come to realize is I'm learning to let go. All the little things that don't matter, all the stupid little trivial stuff. Um, I've learned to let that go. Still learning, but gotten pretty good at it. And even the stuff that does matter, instead of sitting there dwelling on it, I've learned not to stress over it. To just, okay, you know, I'm a little concerned about it, but I'm not going to let it rule me. I'm not going to let it rule my emotions and my feelings and how I'm doing. My mindset is clear. I'm filled with such a overwhelming sense of peace, more peace than I've ever had in my life. My thoughts are positive. I've got a good attitude. I've got some happiness. I've got some joy. And I'm experiencing all that. Now, not every day is perfect. Not every day is great. But you know what? My bad days, I'm not having a bad week. I'm not having a bad 2 or 3 days. It's down to where I'm having a bad day, and for the most part, it's not even a bad day. It's a bad, you know what? I'm having a bad couple of hours, because it's just learning to let that stuff go. If I start feeling myself being stressed about something, then I just stop and just take a quick reassessment, put it into perspective, um, and just change my thoughts, change my attitude towards it, and go, you know what, I ain't gonna let this bother me. Whatever the situation is, it's gonna work out. I ain't gonna stress about it. And being able to do that has drastically changed my life just in this 1 year. And the majority of this has come like within the last 3 or 4 months. But it's been, I mean, it's been a process that's been taking place for years and years, but it hasn't actually really taken shape until this last year. And I think that's what it was, is being locked up for so long and then walking out here, you get so overwhelmed that you have to take a step back. But once you take that step back, then you realize, hey, a bunch of this stuff that used to be my priorities, they're not really priorities. It's, I don't know how to put it in words. That is basically what it is. It's just you learn to prioritize your life accordingly. Like I said, you learn what matters and what doesn't. You learn how to deal with those things, and that's where I'm at, and that's why I have that peace and that happiness and that joy. And like I said, not every day's perfect, but I've learned how to control when something doesn't go my way, when something negative does happen, or whatever the case is. I know how to deal with it now. I'm learning to reach out. I'm learning to ask for help. I'm learning to ask for advice. And even just finding somebody to talk to, and even if there's nothing they can offer me, just me being able to talk and just get it off my chest makes a huge difference. I used to never do that. I held everything in. That's why I crashed. But I've learned to reach out. I've learned to ask for help. Spiritually, I'm closer to God than I've ever been, and I'm thankful for that. And I know that has everything to do with who I am right now, where I am right now, and everything that's going on in my life. God is the reason, and I'll never deny that. Being able to be bold for God, being able to speak out for Him, being able to share His message and His love, just giving all my faith and all my trust to Him is what makes the difference. And you know, we all hear it, we all see it, we all say it, we've read it, we've heard it, but I mean, that's the truth. That's what the Word says. Don't just be hearers of the Word, be doers of the Word. And when He says to have faith in me and to trust me, then you just got to do it. And I know that that's why I am where I am today, and that's why I have that peace, and that's why I have this comfort and this contentment. And you know, my mind is at rest, my mind is at peace. I'm not depressed anymore. I'm spiritually strong. I've got happiness. I've got some joy. No, my life's still not perfect, but through the storm, I'm at peace, and I've got comfort, and it's because of God. You know, I'm healthy. I feel good. I have no needs. All my needs are met. Everything right now is just excess, and I'm blessed because of that. And I'm thankful for that, and I'm grateful for it. And like I said, it comes back to all of you. Without your prayers, without your support, without your love, without your listening ears, your reaching out, no matter what it was, you know, I could sit here and list everything that everybody's done for me, and I could list all of you by name, but then this video would be like 3 hours long or 4 hours long, and I ain't gonna do that to y'all. but I've had many people bless me. People I know, people I've never met before in my life. People that to this day I still don't even really know who they are. Um, Hopefully one day I will get to meet everyone and shake everyone's hand, give them a hug. Uh, but you know, I, either way, it's because of y'all where I am where I am, and I just want to thank y'all, and tell y'all I love y'all. I wanted to give y'all this update. Um, like I said, today's a day of celebration. Trust me, I'm going to be eating somewhere tonight, and I'm just going to be at having joy and peace and just relaxed. Just amazed. Update on my case. Anybody that's wondering, I did find out that about 2 weeks ago, the investigator that was out is back to work now. So supposedly the investigation is underway again. Um, and you know, other than that, we're still everything is still pending the results of the investigation. But knowing that he's back at work, then maybe things will start progressing right now. But other than that, there's really no word on anything. Which, like I said, I mean, I've still got this hanging over my head, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not stressing about it. So please, you don't either. Don't even concern yourselves with it. My life is going great. I'm happy right now. I'm healthy. I'm doing good. Um, I'm in a good place in my mind, my heart, my soul. So just continue prayers, continue praising God, because He's doing wonderful things. He's doing works. Our God is the God of restoration. I'm living proof of that. I said when I walked out of that jail a year ago, I had clothes from the Lost and Found on, and that's all I had. A year later, I'm blessed more than I deserve, and God is the God of restoration. Believe it, trust it. I'm a perfect example of it. I can't say anything else about it. Just He is a God of restoration. He is a God of love, and that's all He asks is you just love Him, trust Him, and if you truly love Him, you're going to trust Him, and if you trust Him, you're going to put your faith in Him, and that's all He asks. That's it. That's all He asks, and if you do that, He is faithful. That's all I can say. He is faithful. So, love you all. Thank you again. Just be blessed, be safe, be happy, and just be good. And I'll keep you updated. Love you all. Be good, be blessed.